this was my first good experience in Hong Kong, I guess. Was with Mr. French Taste. I mean, it was my second visa run of when I moved to Beijing. So I'm a tourist technically for most of it, and so every few months I have to leave, and so this just worked out perfectly that I had to get out and they're doing this thing, and I auditioned for it like on Skype, and I'm like, oh yeah, this sounds great, and I looked at some of the director Jen's stuff. It was just like, damn, that was really good, and you did that. That was your first thing. You didn't go to film school.
I know, I hate her.
It was
I hate her.
it was weird, and then when I finally before auditioning for it, I met her at this party, and I'm not a big party person, but she was there. I wasn't gonna meet her that trip, but I ended up meeting with her, and it was awesome because we got along so well because we have so much in common. She's a huge gamer, and we know all the same stuff. It's like the same realm, and it was just like, oh, this is kind of cool. And then she was doing this project, and so I auditioned for it, and it just worked out. And yeah, that was the first time I really enjoyed being in Hong Kong.
So how did you end up writing too?
Before we started filming, Jen, she just likes to write her own stuff, and so we were kind of planning with this one schedule. So she already planned out the first week. She was going to do the second week over the weekend, but the locations had some issues, so the weeks flipped, right? So the second week was now the first week, and the first week was the second week, and so she was like freaking out. I came the day before we started shooting, and she's just like, oh my god, I have to do everything all over again. I only have a few hours, and I'm like, all right, I'll help. Right, so I was staying with Jen. She was gracious enough to let me stay at her place, and it was the best experience. It was the first time I really experienced filmmaking, from a different perspective, like apart from an actor, and it was just an eye opener. So I have to thank Jen for that, and it was, I was just watching her do call sheets, thinking about the episodes. I'm like, okay, maybe I could write something. I've never really written before, and it's just like, oh, okay, so we can't write that because someone's schedule, they can't come until this time. It was weird to start thinking in different ways, but that's how it happened. It was just like out of necessity, I guess.